Right. Thank you guys for being here this morning. Again, as we're getting settled, if you have a yoga block and a light set of weights or something that will substitute for that, that's what we need today. Today's focus is back and core strength, kind of go hand in hand with one another. And we'll play with some different use of our yoga hour sequence too, to show up those qualities. Most of the feedback I get on Triple B is like, don't be afraid to go hard on us. Don't hold back for any of you. So we'll keep on trying to power it up. Let's start in tabletop pose. So make your way over to all fours. Okay, all fours. Place the hands right underneath the shoulders, knees underneath your hips. And I want you to start with just very gently rocking forward and back. And it doesn't even have to be necessarily a rock, but like forward, shoulders beyond the line of the wrist. Pause for a moment, get a little stronger in the core as you do that, and then back, so that we're getting this deeper flexion, deeper crease in the back of the wrist. Come forward and back just a couple of times. And then similar thing, but flip your hands around so that your fingers are faced more towards your knees. If they don't go all the way 180 degrees around, keep them at 90 and do the same thing forward, except for the flexion is when you come back. Yeah? Give our wrist, forearms, a little commitment to be strong and safe in this practice, in which we'll spend a bit of time in plank today. And how we use and place our hands on the yoga mat also go into the safety of the grip that we use around our weights. Okay, turn the hands back around and do downward facing dog. Tuck the toes and lift the hips for downward facing dog. I'm just thinking of all of these first actions as they are, as warming up the body. Pedal the feet, shake the head. Don't be too stern with yourself about how they look, how they feel. Just giving yourself the opportunity to start to connect, a little movement, breath together. Couple of nice deep breaths here. And then step the right foot forward all the way into our low lunge. And take the twisted variation, right hand up to the sky. Lower the right hand, step it all the way back, and go right into your second side. Bring the left foot forward to your low lunge. Keep stepping until you find your full stride. Take the left hand up. And step it all the way back, downward facing dog. Lower the knees back down to the mat. Take the hands a little further out in front of you. And then press back towards child's pose. In this child's pose, your seat should be a little bit lifted. We're getting into a deeper, longer stretch in the shoulders here. And then come back up, walk the hands over to the right side. And again, pull back. Same thing, just focusing on the left side. Come up, walk the hands over to the second side. And sit back towards your child's pose. This whole week of classes really has been focused on back and core. So as you get to Thursday, if you've done Tuesday and Wednesday, feels like a lot more than that to me. You're probably feeling it already. Okay, plank pose. Shoulders right over the back of the wrist in full plank pose. Squeeze the heels together, squeeze the glutes. I'm a big proponent of when we're doing belly down work to use your legs. Don't make your back have to do all of the work. So squeeze in here. Lengthen the torso. Look a little forward of the hands. We're just holding our upright plank. Where's the pressure in your hands? Can you get a little more into the thumb and the first finger? Don't let it rest in the back of the wrist. It's a tongue twister. And downward facing dog. Okay, we'll get into our triple B sun salutations. Walk your hands backwards to your feet and stand up at the back end of your yoga mat. Let's welcome it in. Inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Walk forward, little bear walk forward until you're in downward facing dog. Shift to plank pose. I'm going to do things just a tiny bit different today. Right knee in and step back. Left knee in and step back. Do it again. Right knee in, step back. Left knee in and step back. And this time it's shoulder taps. Right hand taps the left shoulder and down. Left hand taps the right shoulder and down. And you've got right, down, left, down. Walk it back. Stand all the way up, arms to the sky. And exhale right back down. Walk it forward. Pause for a moment in dog pose. And then plank. 4 knees, right, left, 4 shoulder taps. If you have your feet wider, it's easier to keep the hips square. Try not to rock from side to side. Push it back up into down dog. Bend your knees. Walk your hands back. Stand all the way up. Go all the way back down. Walk it out. Change to plank. 4 knees first, right, left, shoulder taps, right, left. Down dog. Walk it in. Stand up. Just one more time today. Exhale, fold down. Go back to your downward facing dog. Take a breath there. Come forward to plank. 4 knees. 4 shoulder taps. Down dog and pause in downward facing dog. For this last one, let's do the side reaches. Take the right hand to the left. Look underneath and give yourself a twist. Stay there for a breath. Lower the right hand down, lift the left hand up. Take it to hold on to the outside edge of the right leg. Look underneath, add a little twist. And set the hand down. Come forward back to plank pose. Lower down against your yoga mat. Reach your hands back behind you. All right, let me start to think about the back here. Palms up towards the sky. Before we do anything else, press the top of your feet down. Squeeze in your glutes. With your feet down, your glutes tight, can you feel a little tone and try to lift your thighs up from the mat? Like, is there any little bit of space there? Mine are still on the mat, but the work is to try. And that'll keep us nice and toned. Then lift your feet up and find here, If you squeeze your heels all the way together, is that too intense right now? Keep them a little bit apart, but still imagine the squeeze, the hold, the heels trying to work towards each other the entire time. We've got all of that work and strength in our legs. Now, lift your torso a little bit higher up. Sometimes just changing your gaze, look more forward, try to look more up, and the whole upper body starts to come with you. Hold it here, and then lower it down. Press back to child's pose. Take a twisted child's pose, meaning right hand underneath the left hand, and sit back. And then release it out and do that to the second side. So a little bit of a shoulder stretch, twist in the torso here. And take the left hand back out. Find your plank pose. Squeeze the heels in, squeeze the glutes, all the things we know to do. Lengthen the tailbone, tone the belly. From the top of your plank, can you lower halfway down? Bend the elbows and hover. Squeeze the elbows into the side. Try to keep the head of the shoulder moving upward and then straight up. So half push-ups, halfway down, all the way up. Halfway down, all the way up. Can be done from toes or knees. Halfway down, all the way up. And then you get to sit back again in child's pose. Give yourself 2 whole breaths here. We have one more quick round of push-ups. This time, a full push-up. So go your entire mobility here. Again, toes or knees, elbows straight back for that yoga or tricep push-up. Full range of motion, down and up 4 times. Keep squeezing the elbows strong into one another. Try to keep the chest lifted, look more forward rather than down to help you out. And again, press back, child's pose. I think that's the hardest part. Out of the way. Go back to downward facing dog. Take some bend in your knees and walk your hands backwards to your feet. Here at the end of the mat, right into chair pose. Bend the knees, sit into your thighs, extend the arms out in front of you. A lot of you took the class on Tuesday morning. You know, there was a lot of chair. We'll see a little bit of that reflected, but not as much here. Palms together. Take the left elbow to the right knee. Tone and turn in the belly. Slowly take your focus to the side or even up towards the sky. Untwist, come back to your center. Look down, try to keep your knees, toes, hips all square. And then go to the other side. As you place the right elbow to the outside of the left knee, usually that opposite knee wants to pop forward. Try to pull it back so that the pose can really be about the core. And we untwist, stand all the way up, reach the arms to the sky. Here, release the arms back down and interlace behind your back. Squeeze the shoulders, the elbows in towards each other. Squeeze the heel of the palm in towards each other. Try to hold that connection, straighten the arms. Go to chair pose again and send your head down and your arms up. And then round your back more so that you have to use the core to help you out. And keep lifting the arms. You're here for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release, stand up. Have a seat. Just transition down to have a seat. right into boat pose. Hold the hands behind the crease of the back of the knees. Sit up really tall in the spine and take your feet off of the ground. Arms straight out. And in this variation, we're leaning over to the right hip and take the arms to the left to counterbalance you. Lean towards your right hip, take the arms to the left to counterbalance. And then go to the other side, nice and slow. Lean all of your weight over to the left hip, arms to the right. One more time to the first side. And one more time to the second side. Come back to the center. Can you go for straighter legs? Maybe, maybe not. Use the strength and the lift in the core and the muscles in the legs to get you as far as you'll go. Lower the feet down, take your hands back, a foot behind you, turn the fingers out towards either side. Table pose, press down through the hands and the feet and lift your belly up. Squeeze your glutes like crazy here and look down your belly so that you can watch your breath. Pull your right knee into the chest, stretch the leg up to the sky. And like a little can-can dancer, we're gonna do that 5 times. Heel down and up, down and up, down and up, down and up. One more for the road. Set the foot down. You've got one more side. Pull the left heel in. Good variation is to stay in one of the positions rather than moving. And we kick 5 times. 1 and 2, 3, 4, and 5. Lower the left leg down, hips down to the ground. Lay all the way down to your yoga mat, but as you do that, grab either your yoga block, lighter weight, or one dumbbell. Assuming the yoga block is lighter than the dumbbell that you have, you can pick your poison. Lay down on your mat with the arms overhead, feet out in front of you. In our sequence, we do leg lifts here. Take the legs straight up to the sky, and we're just adding the fun extra bit of the weight. So then try to take the arms, hands right over the line of the shoulders and do a little crunch to lift the weight or the block closer to your feet. Good. So that's the pose in a few disconnected pieces, and then we start trying to do it all in one piece. 8 times here in the leg raise with the arms overhead. You can give it a go at your own pace. Try to open up and close in as much of a straight line as possible. Of course, option is to not use the weight, and to also option place the hands still under the seat for more stability. I think I've got 2 more to go. What do y'all say? Close and open and close and open. Pull the knees into the chest. Place the dumbbell or block right on the front of the shins as a point to squeeze into. Hold up nice and tight. Use your momentum to carefully rock back up to a seated position. Place your weight off to the side. We're going to stand back up. Front end of the yoga mat, lift the arms all the way up to the sky. Interlace 10 fingers and then send the thumb and the first finger up. Squeeze the glutes, press down into your feet. Crescent, lean to the right. Awesome length and stretch from the hip through the side of the body towards the shoulder, out to the arms here. And then come back to your center. Second side, crescent to the left. And if you push your hips a little more to the right, so we're leaning to the left, but pushing the hips to the right, you might notice that stretch go a little longer into the legs. And then come back to the center, keep the arms there, keep working. Step the left foot back behind you into a lunge. And again, add the crescent, lean to the right. Lean a little bit forward here. This one's my favorite. If you lean a little forward, fingers more in line with that front knee, we'll get into a stretch of the side of the back, big QL muscles, quadratus lumborum there, mid to upper back. It often does not get its due. All right, step it all the way forward. Keep the left foot forward, step the right foot back. So again, if you start just by leaning straight to the side here, you'll get the length through the side of the torso and probably feel it through the back hip flexor as well. But then change just a little bit, lean forward to move the stretch more concentrated into the upper back. All right, step it all the way forward. Exhale, forward fold. Go back to plank. Lower flat down against your yoga mat. Make sure to clear your space, like my weights and stuff are in the way beside me, so that you have a little bit of room on either side of the mat. Take your arms straight out in front of you, superhero pose. Arms out in front, legs back behind us. Again, press the feet down first, get the legs stronger. And then keeping the strength of the legs, lift the feet up. Now add the upper body, lift the arms. Keep the arms lifted, lower the feet, and try lifting a little bit higher. Lower the arms, lift the feet. So it's like a little seesaw here. Lower the feet, lift the arms. Lower the arms, lift the feet. And again, everything lifts. And lower it down. Make a pillow with the hands for the forehead to rest into. And just shake the hips a little bit from side to side. Few nice deep breaths. Take the arms out in front of you again. This time, superhero, and then into goal post. Inhale, lift it all up. All four corners, keep the lift. Bend at your elbows and pull back like goal post or goddess pose. And then stretch the arms straight. You can also think of it as a lat pull down, and extend the arms. We've got two more here. Bend the elbows and pull back. And extend. One more. And extend. Lower everything down. Press back to child's pose. Give yourself a few breaths and a moment there. Let's come upright on your heels and take a little twist to one direction and a twist to the second direction. Okay, let's stand up and have your weights in your hands. Don't do anything yet. Watch me for the first round. and then join in. So stand with your feet hip distance apart, holding whatever weight you are in your hands. Bend the knees like chair pose and drop the weights right out in front of you. We'll do a classic row. Pull the elbows in and then down, and then adding the chest fly. Open and down. In this lift, you want to be able to see the weights in your peripheral vision, so slightly forward. And as the arms lift, it's the back that's doing the work. Squeeze the tips of the shoulder blades in towards each other so you feel as though there's a little ridge in between the shoulders. Let's try a few rounds together. Stand strong, tone the belly. Bend your knees. And we pull into the row, up for 2, down for 2. Open for a count of 4, 3, 2, 1, and close. 2, 3, 4. Add the row in and down. Open slowly into the fly and close slowly. Row is a little quicker, up and down. Fly out and open and down. We're doing 6 total here. If I'm counting right, this is 3. Row, keep the elbows close in. And out to the side, make sure you can see your weights in the peripheral vision, not higher than the shoulders. 2 more here. Keep your gaze about 2 feet in front of you. No need to look up at the screen. We know where we're going. Last one here. Stand up. This one's fun, I think. Stand on 2 feet to start with and go 1 dumbbell at a time. Do this with me. Arm up and then second arm up. Change the grip so that your wrists are open, and then go into the goddess. And straighten, more like a hammer dumbbell, and 1 arm at a time goes down. Good, start with the second side. Up, keep the line as straight as possible. Open face wrist, goddess pose or your overhead press. Change the grip, lower left arm, lower right. Okay, we're gonna do that same thing, but try to balance, woohoo, in tree pose while you do it. That's where it gets interesting. I'd stay in a lower tree. Don't try to go super high here. Same leg, same arm goes first. And up, press. And if you're falling around, no big deal. That's the whole point of it, getting us to engage and strengthen in the core. We're staying on the same side. 1 more time here. Open up and press. And lower. Second side gets to go 2 times. You can always drop set the weight and do this with no weights or lighter set. A good in-between, though they can be fumbly to hold on to, would be to use a yoga block. It's about 1 or 2 pounds, depending on which blocks you have, as your weights in Triple B. Nicely done, ladies and gentlemen. 2 hands to the ground. Drop the weights for a moment. Give yourself a little bit of a shake. Okay. Do grab your yoga block or some sort of height so you don't have to reach all the way down to the floor for this next one, and set it up on your mat. Start with the highest height. You could always move it down if you figure out that you don't need it. This is all about balance, control, and strength. On Tuesday, we worked on that flying pigeon pose, And this is getting us to go faster in that. Stand with your feet outer hip distance apart and your hands at your waist. Cross your right ankle over the left. Bend your right knee out to the side. And then do chair pose. And reach the hands down to your yoga block. And this is where I want you to kind of measure where it is and the height that you want your block on. And then you might be like, no, Betsy, I can reach my hands to the ground. I don't need a block. Send it off to the side. Okay, hands back to the waist. Stand up and set your foot down. So this first time around is just getting us used to the movement. Figure 4, second side. And then you bend, sit lower, and try to reach down, touch your yoga block. Hands come back up, stand up, set the feet down. Okay, keeping somewhat of control. I want you to do that a little quicker, but you can go at your own pace. 2 times on each side. Go right, left, right, left. Don't think about it so much. Do it as quick as works. Right leg over, bend, set the hands down, right back up, and stand. Left leg, bend, hands go down, up, and stand. Just 2 times on each side. Sometimes in these balance poses, going a little quicker can help us get into the rhythm. Yeah? If we had more time, I would do that a few more rounds. To me, it takes some of the scariness out of things. All right. I had a lot more going on here. Downward facing dog, so I'm just trying to figure out which parts are the most important to get in the next 10 minutes. Down dog. Step the right foot forward, both hands to the inside, and come down to the forearms. You could place the forearms on the floor if you just had your yoga block and want to use the forearms on the yoga block, that's great. If you're using the block, go for the most stable way so that you can switch into plank pose while still being here. Okay, forearms down, we're in plank. Heel toe the right foot back until you can step back into plank, forearm plank. And then staying there, can you get your left foot forward? That one's a lot harder. And just sort of maneuver around. It doesn't have to be pretty, and you can grunt all you want. I can't hear ya. You just get to listen to me. And then once you get that foot forward, we're going to heel toe it until we can step it back. Step the right foot back forward again. And hold for a breath. Notice where you're getting stuck and why you're getting stuck as you do that. It's all informative. Step the right foot back and do it one more time on the left side. And then left foot back, everybody stay in your forearm plank, whether you're on the ground or on a little bit of height. And mountain climbers from the forearms, right knee in and back. I'm stepping so that we have low impact here. If you want to go faster, a little bit of a jog in it, more high impact, go ahead. Keep going, but transition up to full plank on the hands. Right knee, left knee, right knee. Left knee, double time it if you're taking it into that higher intensity. We're here for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold full plank. Stretch back, downward facing dog. And lower the knees down, all fours. Side plank with the right knee down. So right hand, right knee down, Open up to the side, take the left arm overhead. Lift the left leg up, balance here. One version, stay right here. Second version, pull elbow and knee in and stretch it out. Do it 3 more times, in and out, in and out, in and out. 2 feet in your side plank, so stack the feet. Again, one version, stay here. Second version, lift the leg, stay here. Third version, add the movement, knee in and out, knee in and out, in and out. Last time, in and out. Full plank, down dog. Second side, start hands and knees. Left hand a little forward of the line of the wrist, turn to the side. Right arm overhead. Option 1. Option 2, lift the leg and stay. 3, add the movement. Knee and elbow together and extend. Pull in, extend, pull in, extend, in and extend. Level up, 2 feet, stack on top. Take the level or don't, leg or none, and pull it in, extend, in, extend 4 times, in, extend, in, and extend. Downward facing dog, you've done it. Set the knees down, do child's pose, hold there for a minute. One more opportunity to grab something heavy, have a seat. Traditional looking sit-ups here. Use a weight or none at all. If you're feeling quite taxed, forget it. Arms straight up to the sky. This is the top part of the pose. Bottom part, pull the weight in and lie down. Okay, we do 8 of these and then we are done. Lift up, arms overhead. Pull the weight in as you lower down. Press through your feet to give you the lift and safely lower down. Feel mid to low back, rise up and hit the mat. We're here for 4. And down, up for 5, and down, 6, and down. You could use the weight but not lift the arms. A little in-between measure there. Last one, and down. Safely drop the weight off to the side if you used it. Pull the knees into your chest. Nice strong squeeze. Take the arms out in a T shape, or you can do that goddess arms again with the bend in the elbows, and lower both knees over to the right side. Take the knees across the center and lower them to the left side. And then back into the center. Soles of the feet to the ground. Reach your hands to brush close to the heels here. One bridge pose. Press down through the feet, shoulders, head. With all the strength and control work that we did and the belly down back bends. I'm hoping this one feels pretty good right now. Reap the benefits of the work. And then lower the hips. Cross the right ankle over the left thigh, point the knee out. So this is that figure 4 shape from the flying pigeon pose that we were working with. Lift your shoulders and your head off of the mat so that you can grab hold of that right leg and bring it closer to you. Can you keep the shape with the shin sort of parallel to the top edge of your yoga mat? And lower your head and shoulders and then extend the left leg out. Left leg perhaps flying just a bit above the ground. And then keeping the right leg as much there as you possibly can. Release the arms and send them straight up towards the sky. And do your crunch one more time, shoulders and head off of the mat. In a perfect world, that ankle touches your upper arm bone. Mine's obviously got a lot of room and space in between. But when we flip our body so that the hands are actually on the floor here, gravity helps it happen. And then lower everything down 2 feet to the mat. We're working different elements of that flying pigeon pose throughout this month. So doing it on our back here today. Cross the left leg over. Pick up head and shoulders, hold on to your foot and pull it closer to the body. Extend the right leg out and try to lay the head and shoulders back down. And my right leg is floating the entire time. And keeping as much of this nice stretch in the hip, but releasing the arms straight up to the sky and adding the crunch in again here for that flying pigeon pose on your back. And lower it down 2 feet to the mat. Here's your opportunity to do any last little bit of movement and unwinding that your body needs. And we'll take just about 60 seconds in Shavasana or a seat of meditation if you'd like to pop back up. Extend the arms and legs out. Even just a little tiny squeeze of time here at the end of the practice. Helpful and important. Set the benefits, set the mindset. And slowly come back up to a seated position. Find a nice low gaze or close your eyes. Place both hands over the belly for a moment, giving thanks for the width to breathe, for the strength to hold us upright and move throughout the day. Take the hands to your back. The same sense of gratitude for all. And then close palms together, thumbs to the sternum. Bow in deepest gratitude to your full self, each other, and this practice. Namaste.